Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural Ignite at ILT presentation. This is the first time in the 10 years of this illustrious conference that they have run an Ignite session. My name is Derek Austin and I'm very, very honoured to be here today. And I am in fact giving the first Ignite presentation as we watch, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that towards the end. What I thought I'd do to begin with and just get you in the mood for an Ignite session is talk about the last 10 years of this kind of event that Spectronics has organised and what lessons we might have learned from that in our long and august history. I think you've seen a few of them yesterday in yesterday's keynote, but the lessons we've learned. So that couple has been together through 3 versions of Windows, which is a long, long time. But collectively, everyone in this room that's been involved with this from the beginning has been through even more versions of Windows. You've been through at least 5 and maybe even 6 if you count ME. I'm not sure we do. We've even got to the point where we don't really care what version of Windows we're looking at. But through that time, the things that we've learnt collectively and together to avoid is what I want to focus on for the next 2 slides. First, the computers are fine, but the staff have crashed. Coming to this event every year, you get to recharge the batteries. I've noticed that everybody leaves here feeling refreshed. Learn from your peers, learn from the amazing speakers that come to this event, and you learn other things like how to avoid fads. People like me that come from the technology side will package up our latest and greatest and sell it to you as something you can apply in education. That may not necessarily be what you need to do. More than that even though, you learn that technology necessarily isn't the solution to every problem. If there's violence at school, arming people with technology may not be the solution to the problem. Something else may be needed, or perhaps some technology input into that. So you avoid wrong solutions as well. Now, one of the things that most of us have learnt, not all I think, is to avoid virtualizing things for the sake of it. This is a simulation of what the blocks will look like once they're assembled. If you've got something that doesn't need to be in the computer, it doesn't necessarily need to be put into the computer. More than that, you avoid technology driving technology. By a 9-0 vote, the restroom expansion project is approved. You know from coming to this conference when it's time to change tack, to choose a different technology, when the iPads have multiplied from 2 to 4 to 128. More than that, you avoid expecting too much change. So just giving children, or adults even, a piece of technology doesn't change the basic psychology. We haven't got that far yet, maybe one day we will. So we avoid expecting too much change by applying technology. On the other hand, we avoid staying the same. So rather than just putting a new piece of technology where an old piece of technology was before, we learn to apply new processes, new techniques in the context of education to get the best outcomes. And that's the whole reason that we're at this conference. This is one for me, just sitting here waiting for Facebook to go away. After their last timeline changes, I really have that feeling. But avoid apathy. Seize the day. The technology that is here today, you can learn here to choose what's best for that you can get payback out of today. And you also avoid panaceas. You know that one platform is not going to solve your problems. Even if it solves most of your problems, there'll still be something better next year that will do a better job. So I think those are the lessons that we've learned over these past 10 years. And this Ignite event that we're going to talk about, you sat through some long presentations this week, probably, and now it's time for something different. The Ignite session started in Seattle about 8 years ago, and they were designed to be fast, entertaining, inspire thought, wisdom, insight, and even action so that you did something. And what we're going to do is show you some of that. We have 9 wonderful speakers lined up down here, waiting like prisoners to be executed. Some of them are threatened to vomit on stage. And what you're going to see today is maybe not the kind of emotions that Popeye and Brutus are displaying there. Finally, we realised where all that anger was coming from. But maybe love, hate, passion, insight. The speakers today are going to enlighten us, but make it quick. This is the motto of the Ignite movement. So the idea is, preferably with a glass of wine in your hand. Barbara, take note for next year, we need the wine. But hopefully we'll have some later tonight. Enlighten us, but make it quick. So how does that work? Each speaker has a maximum of 20 slides, with some perversion and hacking allowed, as you may have seen in this presentation. Each slide is 15 seconds for a total of 5 minutes on stage. The scary thing is that the slides auto-advance, as these ones are on me right now, so it's all a bit scary. Your job as an ILT audience in particular, and I know you do this very well, is to be supportive, to help these poor people. This is really hard, let me tell you. And I don't think any of these people have done this before. So your job today is to be supportive and to help them through it.